Today on the podcast, I want to talk about a really exciting and kind of interesting development in AI, and that is that U.com, which is, of course, a search engine, which is kind of based on AI. But U.com has launched a bunch of new APIs to connect LLMs to the internet. This is really exciting. As a lot of people know, OpenAI kind of launched ChatGPT, or they launched like a browse with Bing element to ChatGPT early this year. Then there's a bunch of issues where essentially it was able to get what should have been paywalled content, the New York Times and whatnot. And so there was a big whole fiasco around that. They pulled the capability, and they recently, I want to say within the last month, have put this thing back up. So very exciting that it's in there, but this is definitely something that a lot of people want. I, for one, was just getting used to it and then, had to let it go away, and I was excited when it came back. But in any case, I think this is really exciting because if UAI or U.com is launching these new APIs, essentially you're going to get that same capability in a ton of different AI models, which has some really exciting and interesting implications. Of course, for me, I'm excited about it because of the implications of having something like this integrated into AI Box, which is my no-code AI app builder and marketplace that we are creating to essentially host thousands of AI models and allow anyone to use them. You don't need a tech background. You don't need to host these, open source models on your own computer. You don't need to make 100 accounts. You can just access everything, one account, one place. And so that's kind of what we're building with AI Box. If you're interested in investing in that project, we're doing a crowdfunding round on Republic right now. You can go to republic.com/AI-box. I'll leave a link in the show notes to that. But definitely, if you're interested in this space, I'd recommend checking out a project. But in any case, let's get into the podcast. Welcome to the world's #1 AI podcast, AI Chat. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Make sure that you go to aibox.ai, link in the show notes, to join the waitlist for our new AI platform. We're going to be launching an incredible platform that allows you to build anything you want with workflows in AI. So you're able to chain together ChatGPT and image generators and audio generators to make really powerful apps for your organization, or you can host them on our marketplace and actually generate royalties from them. So make sure to go to aibox.ai and join the waitlist. In addition, if you like the podcast, if you could do me a massive favor and please leave us a review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. This helps me be able to get better guests on here as they check the reviews to see how you guys are liking it. So if you could please do that, I would really, really appreciate it. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. In this whole new landscape of AI-powered search, U.com is essentially staking its claim by launching a whole bunch of APIs designed to empower LLMs with real-time internet access. So this move, I think, is very similar to OpenAI's integration of ChatGPT with the web when they did their browse with Bing, but I think it's kind of set to revolutionize how AI chatbots like Meta's Lambda 2 interact with online information. And having something like Llama 2 using this would be great, but I think there's thousands of AI models that are going to be coming out very shortly from people with really impressive data sets that they're kind of guarding. And being able to integrate the internet and internet search into all of those is going to be a very, very exciting area. So at the core of UAI's innovation is the ability to essentially augment LLM's responses with fresh web-sourced content. So starting at $100 a month, these APIs address a fundamental limitation of traditional LLMs on, the reliance of static pre-existing data sets. So U.com is making it possible for AI models to stay up to date, expanding their utility in providing current answers to queries recent events and the latest news, all that kind of stuff. So U.com CEO and founder, that's Richard Socher. It's actually kind of cool. I like their company. I went and listened to a talk that they gave at the AI4 conference earlier this year in Las Vegas. I was quite impressed with some of the things they're working on. And yeah, I think it's an interesting company. They're obviously having to compete with Google on the search front. So definitely an impressive obstacle to tackle. But in any case, their CEO is Richard Socher, and he kind of underscored the demand for
these capabilities that are coming out. So he points out the enhanced accuracy in LLM responses when they're fed real-time web data. And this capability enables AI models to provide really relevant answers in time-sensitive questions, right? This is a leap forward from the static knowledge base they previously had. So the APIs are not just about web access, they're about providing quality, in-depth content. UAI's approach, I think, differs a lot from kind of the standard search APIs by Bing and Google, which typically kind of offer shorter snippets. UAI's long snippets of websites creates a really robust index for LLMs to draw from, which I think is leading to more comprehensive and relevant answers. So U.com offers 3 distinct APIs. They have web search, news, and RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation, but each serves a specific purpose. So this is from, accessing general web content to focusing solely on news to combining web search results from an LLM for potentially more factual responses. Despite the innovation, I think the challenge of integrating live web access into LLMs, it can't be ignored. It's quite a lot. The dynamic nature of the internet with its unfiltered and constantly changing content presents a lot of risks. So search results can be manipulated, and not all quality content is equally visible online. So Socher acknowledges a lot of these limitations when he's talking about this stuff, particularly in localized queries, but he also emphasizes ongoing improvements to enhance the API's capabilities. So the introduction of these APIs by U.com, I think, really is kind of signaling a new battleground in the realm of generative AI. As open source LLMs grow more advanced, the strength of their backing search engines like Bing or Google for Bard becomes really, really critical. So UAI's APIs have, I think, the potential to level the playing field, offering a really competitive alternative to some of the bigger tech giant offerings. And of course, like I mentioned, it's starting at $100 a month. And with that, you get 14,000 API calls. And then following a 60-day trial and that all happens. But you originally get your 60-day trial with 1,000 free monthly calls. But UAI also provides customized packages for larger enterprises. And I think these developments not only are starting to kind of enhance the capabilities of LLMs, but also open up new avenues for AI applications, which I think is really creating a very competitive and innovative AI ecosystem. I'm really excited to see where this goes in the future. Thank you for listening to the AI Chat Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate me wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure you check out our Discord channel and also our Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast, where we can actually share software tools, prompts that we're using in everyday AI. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.